3/16 of an inch thick if you don't want to raise the floor level too much. Boards. You may also need to trim the doors and door moldings. To do this, mark the height of one tile against the door or the molding and cut at 1/16 of an inch above the mark using a saw. The surface to be tiled must be clean, dry, and even. If the subfloor is made of plywood sheets, it's preferable to solidify it by screwing the plywood sheets every 4 or 5 inches with 1.5 inch floor screws. This way, the floor won't move and tiles won't crack. Next, draw reference lines on the floor. Snap a chalk line horizontally and another one vertically to create a cross in the center of the room. Starting from the point where the two lines meet, lay out a dry row of tiles along the longest chalk line. Use a spacer between each tile to ensure even joints. Repeat this along the other perpendicular line. Laying tiles from the center of the room will allow you to place cut tiles near the walls, where they'll be less visible. Remove the tiles. With a notched trowel, spread the mortar along one edge of the layout line, covering an area equivalent to a row of 2 or 3 tiles. Comb ridges in the mortar using the notched edge of the trowel. The ridges should all be made in the same direction. Lay 2 to 3 tiles at a time using your reference lines. Twist the tiles a little as you press them firmly into the mortar. Use tile spacers to ensure even joints. With a level, check that the tiles are at the same height. With a rubber mallet, lightly tap on uneven tiles. Remove the spacers as you work before the mortar sets. When the entire surface is tiled, leave it to dry for 24 hours. Avoid treading on the newly laid tiles during that time. Once the mortar is completely dry, lightly dampen the tiles with a sponge and clean water. The grout mixture will be easier to spread. Pour some of the grout directly onto the tiles and work it well into the joints with a rubber float. Work section by section while holding the float at a 45-degree angle. Use a damp sponge to remove the excess grout as you lay new tiles. Repeat this process at least 2 or 3 times for better results. After 48 hours, when everything has completely dried, apply grout sealer to the joints. The sealer will protect grout from stains. Wait 30 minutes and apply a second coat. After, put the doors back in place and install moldings. After 10 days, caulk the expansion joints with silicone sealer. When the silicone is dry, clean the tiles with a soft, dry cloth.